Hey there guys, Skippy here from Skippy6 Gaming, coming to you with one of the first of many about to come down Elder Scrolls Online for PS4 videos. In this episode here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to respec my character and show you guys my build. First things first, guys. I'm all about constructive criticism and learning from other people and hearing. This is a little bit of a unique build. I wanted a halfway point between a PvE and a PvP build, so I kind of have a few things that are a little different than your average dude. And again, this is just my build, and I find, honestly, I have respec a dozen times. I've tried different equipment, and this is just for me. This is my personal opinion. I'll give you guys, when I'm showing certain aspects of it, I'll definitely show you guys, I'll tell you guys the alternative of what other people do and things like that, and other options, of course, but this is just my build. So let's go respec. Who knows how much it's going to cost. I'm specifically doing this because I do 5 veteran writs every day, and I really want to start doing 6. So I'm hoping to free up some skill points as well. So let's just respec. It's going to cost 8 grand, I think, 7,500. Perfect. So 150 skill points, pretty round number, nice and easy to do. So first what I'm going to do is I am a high elf sorcerer. Let's get out of here. Let's go somewhere more quiet. We'll just sit up here on this rock. Or on this tree stem. This is a good spot right here. Nice and beautiful view. And let's just turn around. Okay, so as you can see, I have some of my gear. So let's go in and look at my gear first of all. Let's see what the notification is. Arthurian Archive. I lost on the end guy yesterday. Let's go here. So inventory. Let's just go over the equipment I wear. Again, I have a halfway point between. This is going to be a little bit of a long video, so hopefully you guys like it. I'm always down for any comments below on things that you can think I can improve or not improve. But again, this is a PvE meets PvP build. I don't want to be switching every day. This is kind of how I do it. So let's go. My main hand. So the one thing you're going to look at here is I have 2 Swords of Toryg's Pact, both Nirnhoned, and both with a max Absorb Magicka enchantment on it. Super pricey to make. It's super valuable. As you can see, 2 items adds 179 spell damage. That is what I'm using these for. That's pretty much what I have them on for. I do not almost never use the swords. I keep my Destruction Staff on my backup hand, as you can see. And that's right there. So you're going to see this Destruction Staff is kind of where I differ. You're going to see a lot of people with Master Staffs in their endgame armor. I really like this Dominion Staff. It has 500 shock damage, 375 magic damage, and restores Magicka. It's sharpened, and it's part of a 3-piece set, this Wrath of the Imperium. The rings you get from Cyrodiil for this, and as you can see, 2 items adds 86 spell damage, and 3 items adds 616 spell critical. Again, this is where I differ from a lot of the popular builds you're going to see on popular channels. I don't mind losing a little bit of spell damage by not wearing the Rings of Cyrodiil Light and wearing these Pax Ring. I only have green ones. I am on the hunt for purple ones. I think you could get them from the vendor in Cyrodiil, but I haven't found anybody that's willing to sell me some yet. So this is my staff. I like it, honestly. As far as everything I'm telling you right now is after tested is how I rock it. So let's go ahead. Hat of Martial Knowledge. So as you can see, I use Martial Knowledge, all gold with max Magicka enchantments, wherever possible. You'll see there's a few other little enchantments that I've switched around. So that said, once I have a monster helm, I do have a Scoria's hat, but as you can see, it's only rank 2, so I don't even wear it. But once I have a V14 helm and shoulders, I'll most likely put it on and lose this Martial Knowledge. So the one thing that you'll see is the Martial Knowledge set adds max Magicka, spell damage, and 5 items after you hit an enemy that take 10% additional damage from the next damaging attack. This effect only happens once every 4 seconds. So right now I have 5 pieces on. There are people right now for their end game that are changing this up, and they are using 2 pieces of Worm Cult mixed in. I don't have any Worm Cult. I haven't picked any Worm Cult up. It is bound on equip, so you can't buy it. It's literally you got to go get it. So I'm on the hunt, but that's something that I would change in my build if I had the chance. So shirt of Martial Knowledge, nice, ready to go. Shoulders of Martial Knowledge. You're going to see there's only 3 non-martial knowledge items on my light armor. Again, I wear all light armor, and you're going to see it right here, is adroitness. So the adroitness set only goes up to V12. But basically what I'm doing is most people will just wear 2 pieces of adroitness just to get that 168 spell damage. However, I'm wearing 3 because I currently don't have any worm cult. If I do get worm cult this waste, or if I do get worm cult, the shoes of adroitness will be what I lose, and most likely 1 piece of martial knowledge to get rid of that last bonus. And there we go. So my gloves of martial knowledge, again, divines, sharpened, whatever you want. It's kind of a flow. I've been fiddling with them. I really like this setup. This has been tested so many times that this is just kind of how I rock it. Breaches of martial knowledge, infused, hey, why not? And shoes of adroitness. Like I said, that's my 3rd piece of adroitness, which most likely will be gone at some point in time, especially with Imperial City coming. I think there's going to be a little change up in the popular items. So necklace of adroitness, 12. It's pretty expensive. When I bought this, they were still 150k. Now they're going for more like 90k. Definite need to have at least 2 pieces of this set. So again, the rings, this is where I differ. Most people will rock rings of Cyrodiil Light here. I only have green ones here, but literally I'm giving up 80 at the end of the day with the spell damage enchantments on these. I'm giving up like 75 spell damage or 80 spell damage in exchange for 616 spell critical. Some people might not like it. Actually, I don't mind it because both of these have healthy on them. And as a squishy Sorc, you know what? I don't mind having a little health. Health being the topic, what I'm going to do is actually back right out of here and go into my attributes, which, again, they differ, but I'm very happy with the way I have them set up. So, let's see if I can even show it. There we go. So as you can see, I have 52 in Magicka, and I have, what did I do? I did something to my spell damage. I'm not sure what I did, but I did something to my spell damage. My spell damage with buff is closer to 25, so I'm not sure what happened there. Something went wonky. I think I lost one of my bonuses, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But, okay. So, Magicka. 52 Magicka, 10 health. This is something that I do because if we're going to go here, you know what? Let's buff. I'm going to just buff to show everybody how this goes. Just going to eat some food. Little sweet horker stew, and then we'll go back to our stats and then try it out. Either way, as you can see, max health. I'm not sure what happened to my spell damage. That's out the door. But, you know what we're going to do? This is what we're going to do. Wow, I feel like I'm lagged out or something right now. It won't let me use my... Oh, it's because I respect. Okay, so let's go back in. Wow, wonky. So basically, the reason why I like that 10 points in health is because I use this for both PvP and PvE. And when I'm running trials, usually any good crew, they really want you to have 20,000 health if you're going to run with them, if you want to have any chance in the trials. So that said, that's why I have 10 points in health. If you really want to be a master Magicka dude, you're gonna see we're gonna come over here. You know what, that's why my stats are all wonky. After we put our skill points in, we're gonna come back here and take a look at some of this stuff. But as you can see, I have 75 champion points. My health and stuff I have at that level, and so let's go. We're gonna go into skills and we're gonna show you how I roll. I've done this so many times that I literally have it off the top of my head, and this is going to be a long video, so I hope you guys like hearing me jibber jabber about this. So basically, first things first, we're on our first bar. This is going to be my 2 Turks Pack Swords. What we're going to do on this bar right here is we're definitely going into Daedric Summoning. Daedric Summoning. Let's go over here. Daedric Curse. So curse an enemy with a destructive rune, deal 649 for damage to the enemy after 6 seconds. It kabooms, and you can only have 1 at a time, so that's the one thing that you're really going to look at. This is going to be my L1 for sure. Let's go ahead and take it, and then we're going to morph it as well. and we're going to morph it into Velocious Curse. So basically, it goes off faster now after 3.5 seconds. Religiously, this is my L1. I always keep it in my L1. Let's go. So also from this category here, Conjured Ward. This is a main one as well. It's going to give you a globe, basically conjure globe of Daedric energy to protect you and your summon creature. Each globe can absorb 8,220. So basically, this is a morph of Hardened Ward, which is the number one thing you need as a sorcerer to stay alive with that low health. What I'm going to do is go ahead and grab my Conjured Ward, and I'm going to morph it into Hardened Ward. And that's going to be on my square. I always keep that on my square, ready to go. And let's go. I think we're going to leave this category right now. We'll go over the passives at the end. So for Triangle, I definitely run my Mage's Guild ability, Inner Light. So let's go down to Mage's Guild. Mage Light. So Inner Light will run off of Mage Light, and that's something that we're going to do here. Let's go ahead and what we want to morph it to is Inner Light. And Mage Light's going to run off of Inner Light's going to run off of Triangle. That said, we're going to jump over to my Circle. Circle is my favorite button. Actually, you know what we're going to do? Let's while we're here, let's go ahead and put my Meteor. Meteor is a Mage's Guild ability. It is super hard. You got to get lore books. It is super OP. The only problem with this is I generally hang out on my second bar when I'm playing PvE. And my first bar here that we're working on right now is more of a PvP bar where I kind of engage. So I don't necessarily put Meteor on this bar for that reason, but I do definitely use it as my super on my second bar. So switching it over, get our Meteor and go to our Shooting Star. Gain ultimate for each enemy hit. When used properly in large groups, you can almost get a whole nother Shooting Star by using your first Shooting Star properly. So let's morph this, and that's going to be our ultimate on our second bar. Let's go back to our first bar. Okay, so Circle. Let's go do our Circle. Circle's my favorite. You know why? Because Circle is my crystal frags. I'm loving my crystal frags. It is super powerful. Let's go over to Dark Magic. Crystal Shard is what you're going to skill into, and Crystal Fragments. That's going to be my Circle. So basically, conjure Dark Crystals to bombard an enemy, dealing 7,756 magic damage and knocking them down for 2 seconds. You know, it really gives you that knockdown, casting other spells. So basically, it procs. As you cast spells, your hands will glow, and it'll proc. When it procs, you're going to be able to get it for cheaper. It's going to do more damage and all of the good stuff. And based on the fact that I just constantly cast spells, it procs all the time. Again, something with the critical kind of leads me towards having a better critical strike on this one. So let's leave that one there. That's our Circle. Last but not least on this one right here, let's see. So let's go do our ultimate on this one. Our ultimate on this one is definitely going to be Overload. The reason why everybody loves Overload, so let's go and let's morph it into Power Overload. No, Energy Overload. So Energy Overload, basically the reason I keep this on my first bar is when I'm slamming all my Magicka, all of it, when I run out, I hit my super, and then all of these attacks are going to restore 420 Magicka and deal more damage. It is super powerful. Look at that, dude. Light attacks deal 9,580 shock damage. That's crazy. It is super powerful, and honestly, whenever I run out of Magicka, I go to this. That's the only reason why I love my Meteor. But when I'm in a PvP moment, when you run out of Magicka, it's super bad. I don't have time to do my dark deal or whatever I do to give up stamina and health for Magicka. And yeah, so R1, last but not least, guys, it's in the same category. Mage's Fury. It's going to morph into Mage's Wrath. Right there. So R1 is going to hold our Mage's Fury, Mage's Wrath. Basically, call down a Lightning Strike to strike an enemy for 1950 shock damage. If a target enemy health falls below 20% within 4 seconds, an explosion deals this. Blah 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 blah. Long story short, this is like a killing blow, especially when you're dealing with the other kind of skills that I have in this set. So what we're gonna do, guys, is jump over to my second bar, which is my destruction staff. Honestly, guys, on my second bar is pretty much where I live in PvE. When I'm running around the world, farming, killing things, I live on this bar. This bar isn't so handy in PvP, but that said, I really do kind of hang out. Whenever I'm traveling around, I use this bar, and then if I'm engaging in a moment, if I have to fight or I have to do something serious, I kind of switch over. This is where you're going to have a lot of my buffs. Inner light, basically, yeah, that's what I didn't tell you. So inner light, I'm going to just show you. Inner light is the Mages Guild one that I threw in my triangle. Basically, that's going to buff all your numbers when it comes to Magicka. Super handy to have. I just feel bad because I didn't tell you that. I just assumed. So we got on the second bar, we got our meteor here. So let's start from L1. L1, I like to put an AoE, a nice AoE, you know, something big. So lightning form, lightning splash. I like lightning splash. It's going to morph as well to liquid lightning. Liquid lightning. That's going to be my L1. Let's go ahead and put it on my L1. Okay, so now let's start putting some wards on. On this one here, I like to use my light armor one, the annulment, and then it's going to go into harness magicka, I'm pretty sure. Light armor. Annulment. Purchase. Yes. And then harness magicka. Absorb magicka based on number of light armor equipments. See, I got everything light armor. So as you can see, I'm always leaning towards light armor. This is another shield that's going to help you absorb spell damage. It definitely helps you when you're in the heat of the battle. And this one here, if I'm in my main bar and then I switch over to my swords, this stays in place. Stays there for 20 seconds. It's a good one to keep there when you're trying to party, you know, get a little love going on. Harness magicka. Harness magicka is going to live on my triangle at least. And let's go make that a triangle. So what do we do with this square? Well, one of the ones that I can't live without, I'm going to tell you right now, is streak. I farm when you're farming, to get out of trouble, to do anything, especially in PvE. If not even, and PvP as well. Let's go over here. It's called Bolt Escape. It's going to morph into streak. So streak's going to live on my square. That's going to bolt you around. And again, once I'm done this, you know, I know this is going to be a long video, but I don't care. I'll show you kind of how to work all these things. Let's go streak. So circle. Okay, so this is the circle is going to be my dark deal. I think that's what it's called. Basically, circle, if I run out of magicka and I'm totally hooped, what I do is dark exchange right here. What I do is switch over to this bar where I can throw some shields on myself and do whatever, and then I throw dark exchange up. So dark exchange, bargain with darkness to restore 2292 health and 3000 magicka at the expense of 1689 stamina per second. Really good for me because I don't need stamina. I don't use stamina. My stamina bar stays full all day long, and I'll gladly do this. This resides always on my circle, on my staff. So let's go ahead and dark exchange, and it's going to morph as well. Okay, so basically this one here is converts magicka into health and stamina. You do not want that, not me. So dark conversion, bang, lives on my circle. Last but not least, this is one of my favorite ones, and you know what? It's really only useful in PvE. We're going to go over there. It's going to be a destruction staff skill, and it's called Pulse Force. Let's go over here. Excuse me. Force Shock. Basically, you'll see that this morphs elemental blast on enemy for 1200 blank flame, cold, and shock damage. So let's go and get that. That's going on my R1, and it's called Force Pulse, I believe. Right there. Force Pulse. Sold. And that's on my R1. So as you can see, guys, we just filled up both my bars. I know it by heart. I always respec. I end up respecing for my hard skills. Just for my veteran level writs and things like that. Let's go. Let's just start from the top and start throwing in some passives. So Unholy Knowledge reduces magicka and stamina cost for all abilities by 3%. Definitely want both of those. Blood Magic. Hitting an enemy with dark magic ability heals you for 4%. Definitely going to take it. I'm busting off Crystal Frags and Velocious Curse all day long. And I need health, so you could take that one. So increasing the duration of dark magic abilities doesn't really help me. I definitely don't usually put 2 in here. Again, one day down the road I might. So activating a dark magic ability grants minor prophecy to nearby allies, increasing spell critical by 629 for 10 seconds. So that said, I used to not put points into this, but the little known fact is that minor prophecy to nearby allies, well, you yourself are a nearby ally. So I definitely would like to increase my spell critical every time I bust a Velocious Curse or Crystal Frag. So I'm going to just go ahead and take 2 of those. And let's just jump down. Daedric Summoning. So let's see the passives in this bad boy. Summon creature, don't have any. Reduces the cost of ultimate abilities by 8%. That's all of them, and that's going to be bought right there. Increases your health recovery by 10% when a Daedric summoning ability is slotted. Well, guess what? We got a Daedric summoning ability slotted, and we're going to take that. Expert Summoner. I don't really use this because I don't have any summon creatures, so let's get out of here. Storm Calling. We'll go down here. Capacitor. Increases magical recovery by 5%. Guess what? We'll take it. Energized. Increases damage of Storm Calling abilities. As you can see, we do have Storm Calling abilities in here. Our Liquid Lightning, our AoE. I'm going to take it. I use it for PvE a lot, so let's take it. Disintegrate. Gives all shock spells a 3% chance to instantly disintegrate. Definitely going to take it. Got lots of shock. Increases spell power by 1% for each sorcerer ability slotted. So each one of these is 5. Definitely, do I want to have 10% more? You know it. Heck yeah. And back up out of here. So two-handed, we're not going to really see anything in here. There was some sort of silly blunt, some sort of glitch going on here. I don't mess with that. But there is a few. So let's see. Allows your standard with two-handed weapon equip. So that said, this is going to be like, I don't use this, so we're definitely going to back right out of this. Dual wield, we do use this. This is where that twin blade and blunt glitch came in. I don't know what it is, but I know there was some sort of glitch with this where it was being used incorrectly, and it may still exist. If anybody wants to hit me up in the comments and tell me, each sword increases the damage of your weapon attacks by 1.5%. I literally don't use my swords. They're just there for the Turks pack bonus, so let's get out of here. And again, educate me, guys. This is kind of a entertainment to the community where we open a discussion. Let me know what you think. Destruction Staff, you know we're going to be hammering this one. So let's go over here. Try Focus. Heavy shock attacks deal damage, blah, 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 blah. We're taking it. Sold. Penetrating Magic allows your Destruction Staff to spells to ignore 5% of an enemy's spell resistance. So I'm going to take these. Most of the time I won't. It depends if I have a lot of skill points. Right now I'm trying to save skill points so I could do all the veteran writs. And I might come back and put these 2 points into here. But I only actually use one Destruction Staff spell. So these 2 points I might put in later, assuming I can do my writs. So, but right here increases your spell's chance of afflicting enemy. Yes, we want it. This is pretty much PvE. I don't ever use my Destruction Staff in PvP. Reduces the time it takes to charge a heavy attack. No, we're going to skip on that one. Restores 1400 magicka when you kill a target with a Destruction Staff spell or weapon attack. I'm definitely going to take this guy. And there you go. Like I said, guys, this penetrating magic is pretty good. It's good for the PvP or PvE. You know what? I'm going to take it. Stop being cheap. I just really want to be able to do all my writs. Resto Staff, we don't have none of that. So this is the one thing here, guys. I use 7 pieces of light armor. I'm taking all of this. Reduces the magicka cost of spells by 1%. Look at that. Just this one thing, 21% off of my magicka cost. Right here, magicka recovery 2%. Watch this. 28%. These ones here, that's the bonus. That's why people wear light armor. Do you think I want to be squishy and have 19,000 health? Hell no. Spell critical rating, 5 pieces, definitely. Look at that. 2000 spell critical, concentration, spell penetration. Always take it. Look at that. Some of the best stuff. But as you can see, I always have a 5-piece set laid up. Let's get out of here. Medium, heavy, don't need it, don't need it. Ledgerman, don't need it. Soul Magic, I always put these points in right here. As you're going to see, Soul Summons allows you to revive once every 2 hours without spending a Soul Gem. And if you do it again, it's once every hour. I always do it. And then Soul Lock here is something that I do as well. Your weapon kills have a 5% chance of automatically filling a Soul Gem. I don't want to slot an ability that does that, so I definitely do this. And whenever possible in PvE, I do my best to try to end people with my weapon. It's pretty easy with your destruction staff. With the shock, I pretty much just hold down R2 and hope that 10% of the time I fill a gem. Believe me, I have 80-something gems. It works somehow between A and B. The one thing I'll say is my Mage's Guild, there's not many of these abilities I mess with. I literally only use Inner Light. Other builds you're going to hear and see that people use a lot of these. Not for me, not as much. Reduces magicka and health costs of Mage's Guild abilities. Again, not too important for me. Duration, not for me. Increases your max magicka and magicka recovery by 1% for every Mage's Guild ability slotted. So for me right now, that would only give me a 2% bonus if I were to waste the 2 skill points. So I'm going to skip that one. And casting a Mage's Guild ability has a 50% chance of increase. So again, I'm only really casting one Mage's Guild ability, and it's usually at the beginning of when I enter a battle, and then it stays open for however many seconds. How many seconds is it? It's for a long time. That thing stays on. So let's get out of here. Undaunted, again, once I level up more, there is an Undaunted one that you do want to use. Is this Undaunted Metal. It increases your max health, stamina, and magicka by 1% per type of armor. So what ultimately my true end game is going to involve a monster helm and shoulders, and what I'm going to want to do is have a medium shoulders and a heavy head, or the other way around, and then I will be able to secure a nice 6% bonus on my health, stamina, and magicka, which is a lot. So that's something I haven't really leveled up. To get the Undaunted leveled up to 10, you have to do all the world anchors. You have to go buy drinks for Undaunted members. There's tons of ways to do it. I don't know what it is. I'm just letting it naturally go up from just doing my pledges every day. So let's get out of here. Assault support, not really for me. I don't really use it. Barrier is heavily used in several different dungeons and stuff like that. So for me, I don't know too much about it, but Barrier is like a really good one. Let's go show you. I know that a lot of people use it. Invoke defensive tactics, which protect yourself and nearby allies. 28,700 damage for 30 seconds. It's something that we really do when we start in the trials, when we enter big areas, just to kind of buff it up. For me, I don't want to give up a ultimate spot because I'm usually DPS, so let's just pass out of here. Again, not for me, not for me. High elf skills. One of the best things about this is I'm going to be taking all of these. Magicka recovery in combat by 3%. Max magicka by 4%, and damage with frostfire. Look at that. Guess what we're doing here? We're going to take every single point we can. Not bad. We're still less than half an hour right now. And here we go. So I'm going to do this just quickly. I'm going to leave myself a bunch of skill points. I'm just going to show you quickly how I do it. My goal today was to be able to do all the vet level writs, seeing that I have level 50 in every single one of these. So the thing that I'm going to tell you off right away is there are certain points I'm going to put in right here, right now, that I do every time. So the one thing I'm going to do is I always put 1 point in keen eye in every category, because I like to farm. I like to see the stuff. It really does help. 1 versus 0 is a big difference. No keen eye there. Keen eye here. So now we can look into it, like, what's next? So the one thing I'm going to tell you is that I have no choices. I do make ambrosia potions. I do have the ambrosia recipe. It is one of my #1 ways of making money every day. So I have no choice but to beef up this stuff right here. So this right here, recipe improvement. And then the other thing is, in order to do the veteran level writs, you have to have that at 6/6. You could do vet level writs right now like this, but in order to make the ambrosia potion, it's actually the only one that you need to have, the only potion in the game where you need to have this to 4, because it's the only gold potion, so, or the only gold drink. That said as well, we're going to go down here. I really do like my Frost Miriam and the Brevez juice that comes in the mail, so this hireling is going to be max for sure. And brewer right here creates 1 extra serving each drink recipe made. I have no choice but to put this to 3 because of the ambrosia potions. The rest is all up to Hugh. That's going to be the main eater of my skill points. So basically what I'm going to do from this point here is back it up, and we're going to go make it so I could do every single vet level writ. Let's just start from the bottom. I got to put these points in whether I like it or not. So woodworking, we're gonna have to put that bad boy to 9. This is gonna eat most of these points, but I'm gonna go on a little bit of a sky shard run this weekend with the guild, and hopefully I can score at least a couple more. I think I can get about 10 or 12 skill points in one day. So woodworking, provisioning's already jacked up. Enchanting, I want to do my vet level writ, so here we go. Doing the writs is really a great way to gain items and stuff, and there you go. I'm not going to mess with these extractions and the hireling just yet. I just want to be able to do my vet level writs. And keep going. I think on this one here, once we did this, it's not bad. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about putting the other points into. I'm not going to necessarily put them, but I'll show you what direction I go in. What I do is basically spend them as I use them. I would definitely recommend, honestly, I almost always will put these 3 points into unraveling and any extraction because I constantly am extracting things. That said, I have enough people in my guild that I play with that will upgrade things with tannins and stuff, and then as those points come out, I'll definitely put a little bit more in, but I just want to be able to do my vet level writs. So that said, if you want to make the uber good potions, you're going to need laboratory use. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Medicinal keen eye. So I'm going to give myself laboratory use because I need to make the good stuff. Snake blood, it reduces the negative effects. Again, I don't really mess with that. So that said, I think what I will do is 3 times 4 is 12. So I'm going to go put 12 points in all of the extractions. So let's go back here. I think it's going to metal extraction. So improves I'm always extracting ore and everything. So let's go ahead and put, I don't mind about the research time. So I'm going to leave that off, but I really want to be able to extract. Unraveling for clothing. Oh, I'll do that one last. I don't know if, I guess. You know what? I'm just going to spend all these points. That's what skill points do. Enchanting, I want to extract as well. So now what's left? Let's see. Alchemy. Keen eye, medicinal use. And there you go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave this for now. Most likely probably put some points into my hirelings or whatever, but as you can see, I went through everything with you. Let's go into my character screen now. As you can see, my spell damage is beefed up now to 2628, which is super good. My max magicka 27,747. My magicka recovery, again, I use the Atronach or whatever the heck for magicka recovery. But let's go ahead and buff my character at the same time. Let's go throw my mage's light on and let's go check it out. And now you can see I got nice buffed up numbers. My max magic is 2900, 2628, 44% spell critical. We got our spell resistance and physical resistance. The spell resistance is from the Nirnhone swords, and there you go. So that was a pretty long 35 minutes, but I feel super good about it. Let's go and pretty much kill everything. So ultimately what I do is I'm just going to spend 3 or 4 minutes showing you kind of how I roll. Again, guys, there's a million different ways. There's a million different ways to do it. This is just my personal build that I find is a nice happy medium. But as you can see, I live on my destruction staff bar in PvP or PvE, and I just roll around, jump in water, crazy. And let's go fight something. I'll pretty much show you. I really love my Force Pulse. It's super handy, but if and when time to engage comes up, oh, I don't want oak. Just fill up my inventory. Is there anything to fight? We're gonna go for a swim. I think there'll be something to fight over here. But yeah, don't forget, check in the description, guys, if you want to come join my guild. We're gonna be doing a bunch of videos of trials. There's a sucker right there. Is that a... oh, that lady. I'm gonna go solo that anchor. I'm pretty sure I did it before. So basically what you do is I kind of hang out on my destruction staff bar, and I love my Force Pulse and everything, but what I do is bless me. So what I do is when I see something coming, I'm like, oh no, there's a beef about to go down. What I do is I'll hit up my annulment. I'll feel good about it. I switch over. When I hit this, I'm going to give myself an inner light. Look, I already procced. Bang. Drop your Velocious Curse. Throw your Mage's Wrath. All done. This lady doesn't have a chance. And there you go. Nice and easy. And then what I do is I switch back to my thing. And there you go. Give me your water hyacinth. I love it. And there you go. Hit me up if you want to join the guild, if you want to make some vids for Elder Scrolls Online. Don't forget as well, get involved in the comments. Share this video on social media with your friends. Elder Scrolls is a little new for my channel, but we're going to start hammering some videos and get some gameplay out there. I've been playing all day and night, and I'm loving it. So hit me up, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next video.